Hi everyone, welcome to Live from the Studio. Today I've got Beny. We'll talk a little bit about some news, speak with him, and then have a performance. First, I'm launching the intro. Hello everyone, we've got a live performance with Beny. Hi Austin, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm good. I mean, besides all the smoke in California and all the fires and the pandemic, I'm good.
Yes, indeed. We were dealing a little bit with the technology. Live streaming is still, I don't know, a lot of fun for me. Welcome, everybody. Please put a shout out in the chat and I will see it. Say hi and I will do a shout out. If you've got any question for Beny, put them in the chat. I'll relay them. That's awesome. Oh, I see Peronosphora as a join, Malaki as a join. Everybody's getting their coffee shot. All right, let's start a little bit with some news. So everybody knows my site, pitchymango.org. I would like to thank all my supporters on Bandcamp. So if you want to join that, it's like $20 a year. And that helps me to run this show, make some music, etc., etc. So please, that's a little bit my tip jar. Join the Bandcamp supporters. All right, what do we have? I think this Wednesday we've got a Peak, which is on the 16th of September. So it's a Peak Live, and we've got Wabi Sabi and VIR, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a link for Peak. I see Dustin Carpenter join, Anna Ogban, Benjamin Izzo. All right. Welcome. What do we have also? Bay Improviser. So I put the page on for Resident Electronic Music Monthly. So you can start to sign up. It will be on Tuesday, October 13 at 8 p.m. We had at the show this week. It was quite cool. You can watch it again. That was really awesome. A lot of modular synths and from, I don't know, we had 2 people from New York, 1 person from Seattle. So people from all over the place and or local resident. So it's on the 13th October, bayimproviser.com, and let me put the link in the chat. You need to prepare a 20-minute piece, upload it on YouTube as unlisted, and we'll watch it all together. What else do I have? Resonant Frequency. Resonant Frequency has been on the hiatus, but usually it's on first Sunday of the month at 6 p.m. So here is it, Franck Live. I don't know if there will be one in October, otherwise it would be on the 4th of October, but check this place. The other event that we have is Sonic Alliance. So the Sonic Sunday, the third Sunday of the month at 5 p.m. I guess it will be on the 19th September, and it's on Twitch TV, Sonic Alliance. This show is organized by Fez, so if you want to join it. All right. New album, so we've got Malaki, who's on the chat, has a new album on the Reid. It's called X7E4, if not mistaken. So please check it out, it's quite nice. And I've seen also that press the right button, here we go. I've seen also that Ian Body has released a new album on DIN or DIN, I don't know, with a few people that we know about. Bachas, Light Bass, Panic Girl, Andrew Wang, Stefan Boschzuk, E.B. Siddiq, Steve Davis, Massia Kupeli, and Timel. So quite a cool album that has just been released.
Check out Volume 2 also.
Oh, that, yes.
I was on Volume 2.
Yes, indeed.
With Nathan Moody and Hyde Bach.
Yes. And I've started to listen to them. I've started by the Volume 1, so that's the Volume 4. It's quite a nice compilation. And I think you're on it, I think also, no?
Yeah, on Volume 2.
Okay, all right. So that's a nice compilation and coming often. All right, what else do I have? Oh, a little bit of my promo also. So I'm performing for Star Crash on the where is the date? On the 24th of September. So not this Thursday, the Thursday after, 8 p.m. with a bunch of people, Megatronic, Great Highway, Container. I did one show with Container that she organized a while back, and that was with M.0 and Haptic Synapse, so that was quite cool. And there's Eki Shola also, who's a local, who does some very nice jazz music. All right, I think that's about all the news. I see Schmuster Distortion Production joined, so Danny is here. I see Wabi Sabi is here, so Wabi Sabi will be on the pick. Benjamin Iso, I see here. I think I've seen everybody. All right. Okay, here we are. So I put your Bandcamp page. So let me put the link. So Beny on Bandcamp, and we can start by the usual question. So who are you?
That is a good question. Sometime I'm still figuring that out. My name is Austin Carnes, and I make music under the name Beny, a pseudonym. And yeah, I make music with synthesizers and samplers, tape machines, all manners of electronic instruments. And I do so in an ambient style, ambient music. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, and so I don't know. I'm gonna going down in a memory lane. So I'm showing this bad picture I took. I was at Binary Society. I think when you launched your first album there with I don't know, Danny on the camera. So I think,
Distortion Productions.
Yes, I think that was my first encounter, or the first time I saw you. Yeah,
that was a fun show. I remember, I think you brought this up on the episode with Danny, but about the music video that he did for one of my tracks. But yeah, basically for the whole show, we projected that video behind me. You can't see it in the photo, but that was kind of cool to have some high quality visuals like that. So
yeah, it was a really nice one. So yeah, if you want to see this part also, that was on the previous show with Distortion Corporation.
I think this part of this set is on Danny's Vimeo page as well. So you can have to watch part of it.
Yes, we had it on the Vimeo. I think it's maybe on YouTube too. I'm not sure, but it's on Vimeo on the high quality. So if you want to have a look, I could try to look for.
I had a lot of stuff go wrong with that date or with that show.
Well, we heard about the mosquitoes.
During the show as well. I was borrowing my buddy's Roland SP404. And I didn't really know how to use it yet, but I was relying on it to play all my field recordings. So I ended up, I think, not having any field recordings because I couldn't figure out how to use it.
Yeah. Wabi Sabi say, no, it wasn't. It wasn't the Iceland tourist video. It was the in the forest. Yeah, in the redwood forest.
I think he's asking about this Icelandic tourist video that I have been using live for the last couple months. So, I mean, not this year, but last year I was using it. Because I saw DB in Seattle. I was using this video that I cut together all this footage of tourist footage of Iceland back in the 70s. And then I did stuff like transparency, overlaying them on top of each other to make all this psychedelic effects. So I think he's referring to that video.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, just found footage that I found, online, just Googling,
Yeah. No, so you had made the trip to Iceland, I guess. Soon?
I did I went to Iceland last year. It was really fun.
Okay. That was for a show, I suppose?
No, actually, that was just for fun. I had always wanted to go to Iceland, and I did. It was kind of centered around other shows in other countries out in Europe. But I figured since I was out there, I might as well go to Iceland as well.
Yeah, I was.
So I always wanted to go.
Yeah, I saw that also from San Francisco, flying to France. Yeah, Iceland was, I don't know, they were doing some discounts, so I booked a ticket to go via Iceland, but then the trip became crazy, so I just landed in Iceland like for 1 hour time to take the next plane. So I know my wife and me were supposed to stay like a couple of days to visit a bit before on our way to France. But
next time.
Yes, next time. So I went to Iceland. I know what the airport looks like. Okay, here we go. Peronosphora was about to ask the origin question. So let's start with our question. When was the first time you heard about synth music?
That's a good question. I was aware pretty early on because I grew up playing guitar and playing in bands with friends, but like some of our first bands that we played in had synthesizers in them. So I think, my friend probably turned me on. My friend Dev probably turned me on to a lot of synthesizer music. I mean, stuff that you wouldn't think would have some synthesizers in it, maybe like Rammstein, Skippy Puppy. I mean, that was pretty. Some of our early influences. We were playing in bands back in the day. So I said that was when I first heard of synth music. But I really did not get into synths until later on, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And that had come after a little bit of a break that I took from playing music altogether. I kind of became disillusioned with the guitar. I just felt like I wasn't really expressing myself musically the way I wanted to.
And that was electric guitar, I suppose?
Yeah, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, bass guitar, all the guitars. But I had never really gotten into synth stuff. Like I bought a microKORG years and years ago and never really learned how to use it. And I would mess with like the synths on Fruity Loops. And that was pretty much I didn't know anything about synthesis, like anything like that. But it was actually my buddy Dev, Shipwreck Detective. I think you might have met him. He got one of those Korg monotribes, like the bass synthesizer. And we were just playing with it at his house one day. I was like, this is pretty fun. I'm going to go pick one up myself. So I ended up getting the Volca analog keys. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. And basically, that was the beginning of a lifelong, or at least a couple years long obsession with synthesizers.
Yes. So when did you move from synthesizer to modular synth? Or how? What was the progression?
So I got that Volca keys thing, and then I started getting into other little synths like that, like the Volca stuff, and then can't remember what else, but I got into the DIY scene a little bit, like building synths from kits. Like I built the Audio Thingies P6 and the Sonic Potions XLR or LXR, which was really fun. And from there, that kind of led me to modular, just like seeing the DIY stuff that was going on around then with mutable instruments. Like they had the Shruti out and the Bika. And I noticed that, they had these modular panels out. And I was like, what is this texture synthesizer? It was a Mutable Instruments Clouds. And I was very intrigued, but I did not understand anything about what modular was. yeah, I was just YouTube deep diving. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I was like, okay, I think this is for me. Just like the open architecture of modular, and you can kind of create your own instrument in a way, and that kind of thing really appealed to me.
Yeah, that's cool. I have DB Poland who was asking, if the ER301 and GR1 is still part of your setup.
Yeah, definitely. The 301 is basically the heart of my modular system now. For those that don't know, the ER301 is kind of like a modular within a module. So you can kind of create anything you want inside of it. It's got these little modules built in, and you could just put as many as you want in there. You can make a 8-voice sampler. You can make, crazy tape delay type of thing. You can make a FM synthesizer in it. You can build a sequencer in it. It's a pretty incredible module. And yeah, the GR1, just granular synthesizer. I love granular, so I have too many granular synths.
Okay, yeah, I think I found a picture of the ER301 on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I post a lot of pictures of that or videos.
Yeah, that's nice. At least that give an idea to people what it looks like. Yeah, no, it's quite cool. Yeah, and I think also your first album was I don't know. I can't remember. You had like 1 or 2 clouds on your on your setup in the beginning.
Back for the first album, it was kind of a collection of songs. So some songs were made with the modular, and some were made with other things, like the OP1. I had an OP1 pretty briefly, and the audio thingy's P6 that I mentioned earlier, that DIY kit that I made, that was a 6-voice polyphonic synth. So that was kind of one of the main voices, and then along with the OP1, and then using a lot of modular processing.
Yes, indeed. And then I guess I remember also we were talking about the Binary Society. That was one of the first show. I don't know. For me, I can't remember which one started first. With the Church of the Super Surge and Binary Society. That was, I guess, the first show I would go to listen to people. How did you get involved with the Binary Society?
Yeah, it's interesting because Danny just told the story 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, but from my point of view, I had become friends with James Siegler through Instagram, and one day he hit me up and was just like, hey, there's this show going on. Do you want to come play it? I was like, okay. At that point, I had only played, I think, 2 shows ever, like under our beny. And I was kind of not feeling it. Like they were kind of, they weren't great. So I was kind of on the fence about playing this one. But since James was involved, I was like, well, okay, I'm a huge fan of James. I'm not going to turn that down. And I had no idea that James was local either until then, like local to San Jose. So yeah, that's how I got involved. I met Danny through that, and just got involved with that scene.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, I remember at the time also that was roughly the 2 shows going on, the church and then the Binary Society in San Jose. That was really cool.
And that first Binary was really fun. I mean, like, that was probably the best show I had played to that point. And yeah, met some lifelong friends from that, like meeting James in person and Danny and the guys in Haptic Synapsis.
Yeah, they are cool. Yeah, I think I can't remember which first one I attended. I guess that was number 4. That's the one I took the picture from. I don't know if I attended some earlier one, but yeah, and then after I would come to every one of them, I think, more or less. And this is also when, when Danny did the show in RoboSpeak that also I met M.0, and also when he had the stuff in San Jose. I forgot. When Robert Akiobrello came, and Light Bass, and a couple of other people.
The Sub-Zero Festival?
Yeah, Sub-Zero Festival, that was cool. Yeah, so I remember also my first shows, the first one, you're still a little bit, what the hell am I doing here?
Where did you play your first show?
Well, technically the first show was Powo, so that was a live stream that we did in...
Wow.
That was the first performance, kind of live, but there was no audience. I've got a picture of that, so let me put it on. Where we were all together with... Brian Levy, Normalian was organizing that. Phuturo also was here, and Danny also performed with Ocean Corporation.
Was that really your first performance ever?
Live, yeah.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
And
honored to be a part of it.
Yeah, that was cool. And then this nice picture we took at the office. So no secret, I work for LinkedIn, and then we used to have once a month performing together in the office, so we have got a nice view. And then there was Powo, and we did a special show from the office one afternoon. That was cool. But my first show with a live crowd was at Resident.
Resonant Frequencies?
No, Resident Monthly.
Oh, Resident. Yes.
Yeah, Resident Monthly. I was there, and then I don't know. I think maybe Jeremy told me before that we had at the Po, but he said, "Hey, you're starting to do some music. Come and perform." Well, I don't know, to last more than 5-10 minutes. He said, "Come over." So I lasted about 15 minutes, and I think that was the same stuff for the Po. I lasted about 15 minutes. At least the one with Po, there was no live audience, so that was less intimidating. There was, a couple of friends, so you could describe that, you're in the middle of talented friends and you're trying to do your best. But with a live audience, it's a little bit more nerve-wracking.
I was lucky since I had experience playing live in bands when I played guitar. So it wasn't quite as nerve-wracking by the time I was playing live with synth stuff, but it was more of a logistical nightmare. Like the first time I played, I brought out pretty much everything that I owned at that point, which was the modular and a bunch of small synths. And it was just a nightmare to kind of keep track of things and keep things mixed and stuff like that. And plus, Doug Linner was on the bill too, so I was super nervous.
Yes, indeed. But Doug knows how to put you at ease.
Yeah.
Doug is it's quite nice, this community, because everybody put you at ease and come and perform, and it's all cool. And I'm trying to do the same thing also with when I was the resident, even not resonant frequencies. If I see some people that are, you play some instrument, why don't you come and perform? Oh well, there's already some people.
All it takes is just one. That first push,
Yeah, just come and do 5 minutes.
Like one, you can build your confidence from there and build what you like to do from there.
Yeah. Just come and perform 5 minutes. It's fine, and then you see what it is, and then you can come back with more confidence. That's cool. Anybody has got any question? See people on the chat. So Schmusser join, Alphaster. Okay, Danny was talking about a red stripe down.
The Schraman, they have different cables, I think, or they're just a...
Oh yeah, Danny, that was a lot of fun. Very tight space though. Oh, Robot Speak event, yes. Okay. Just checking a little bit what's happening on the chat. Yeah, so if you have got any question, and also while you're here, don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, etc. And also do the same for Austin. Let me show you his YouTube channel also while you're at it. I need to change the visual so we can see it in big. Yeah, so go on also Austin YouTube channel beny, and then subscribe here, and you can see some awesome video. Yeah, no, I kind of like the community, and I don't know, it's nice that we are locals and we used to meet each other.
Yeah, I really like the small community that we have here. Yeah, I think Danny with Binary Society did a pretty great thing of bringing together people from throughout the Bay Area, as opposed to these little micro scenes, like in San Francisco and in Oakland and Berkeley and down in San Jose. It was kind of like, oh, this isn't all in one encompassing Bay Area thing. And I felt that way with the Church of the Super Surge as well, like those shows.
Yeah, and I noticed also, between what are the three: Resonant Frequency, Resident, the Church, and Binary Society. Yeah, it's nice to have options. Also, people cannot go to all the shows because of transport or stuff like that, so that gives option to, around the Bay to have a couple. And the more shows we've got that are encompassing the whole community, the better opportunities for everybody.
Yeah, I wish we could play shows again. Yes. I was thinking that it's already been 9 or 10 months now since I've last played a real show, like not a non-streaming show.
Mm-hmm. So how are you
starting this project?
So how are you compensating? Or what changed for you?
Sorry, what changed?
Well, we can't play live shows, so what your life as a musician is now. What are you recording more music? Are you streaming? I don't know.
I dabbled with some of the streaming stuff. I played a few streaming shows, and it's tough because I really feel like you miss the live energy of a crowd in a room, like especially for my stuff, I like to play with the dynamic. So like I use a lot of bass and distortion, and I like to make music when I play live that you could feel, and it's kind of hard to translate that through streaming, I think. And I feel like if I'm going to put in the effort to record a video, I'd rather, instead of streaming it, make it more of a little bit of a production, something that I can put on my YouTube channel, as opposed to something, you put up for streaming and might not, if you use Twitch, then it's not going to be up there for very long. But I don't know. I've definitely been recording more, and just taking on a lot more music projects that I maybe wouldn't have otherwise, like remixes and doing some patch design stuff for a few synth companies. But yeah, I do miss playing shows a lot. I haven't got that same feeling from streaming shows. So.
Yeah, as you're talking about remix, if I recall, I saw you did one remix for Panic Girl.
Oh yeah.
Was it Himalayan Tea? It's a special Beny remix. I should put the link on the chat. How did you work on this remix? I don't know.
That was a while ago. Usually when I work on a remix, I like to find a section of a song that's maybe a little bit more hidden in the mix and kind of expand on that a little bit more. And one thing I really like to do is just take one part and use that for all the parts of the whole remix, doing things like changing the pitch and running them through granular processors. So that's kind of the result of that. In this case, I actually chose these strings that are in the intro of the song. So it's not a part that's kind of hidden in there. But I really just thought those strings were pretty beautiful, and I thought, yeah, I can make a song that's a little bit more focused on the strings. I don't know if you've heard the original track or the remix at all, but yeah, they're definitely different vibes, and I like both vibes. I like the vibe of the original one as well. But it's got percussion and a lot more instrumentation. So.
Yeah, no, she's got a nice style. Yeah, I've listened to. I haven't listened yet to the remix. I've listened to the album.
Yeah, it's a great album.
Yeah. I saw that.
I think friends on the remix album too, like Light Bath. He's on there.
Yes, indeed. Oh, that's quite cool. I'm just. Yeah, I think also Schmuster is asking, where beny come from.
Like the name?
Yes.
Oh, good ask this one a lot.
Yes, indeed.
Basically, there's a photographer that I was enjoying his work around the time that I started this project. Roll-Off Beny. I had found his stuff through the ISO 50 blog, the Tycho's blog. And yeah, I was starting my YouTube channel back in 2015, I think. And I was making a tutorial for someone on the Korg forums. And basically, I could not come up with a name. Like, I was like, I can't think of anything. So I just decided to make a placeholder. I wasn't going to be anything serious anyway, just a quick tutorial about the Korg, like Tribe on the Korg forums. So I was just like, Roll-Off Beny, I'll just be beny. And I always intended to change it. But yeah, I just kind of stuck after that, after I put that video out. Because it kind of reached a few people, and it got posted around on Reddit and things like that. And yeah, it was too late to change it after that. So it's kind of a tribute to the photographer, but also kind of, a placeholder name. But I think that's how it always works in some cases.
Yes, indeed. We're reaching half of the hour, so that's usually when we do the music. I'm just checking. We are trying to get the streaming live. I'm just checking if everything is okay. I think I don't know. Let's give it a try. If it doesn't work, then we'll come back to the chat and then we'll give it a try again.
Yeah, if it's not working through the streaming thing we're doing, I can stream through this chat service that we're using.
Okay.
It seems that my audio interface connects to it, so.
Okay, we'll give it some try. Let's try to see with the RTMP if it's all working.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you want, I'm going to swap the screen. I'm waiting for you to put the camera on the right spot.
Oh, okay. If you could give me a second here.
I'm gonna.
Sorry, everything's in the way.
Just checking that I'm.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's moving.
Okay.
Yeah, getting the stuff. Just checking if I get the sound. Yeah, everything seems working. So a little bit of time to set up everything and get ready. All right. Advanced audio property, monitor and output. I'm getting audio, but I'm not getting it.
Are you getting audio?
I'm getting audio, but I can't hear it. This is weird now. Yes, I'm getting the audio now. Okay, we are good. So when you want.
All right.
Carry on. Don't stop. Oh, that was awesome. Really cool. Thanks, Austin, for that. That's really cool.
A little rusty. I haven't played in a while.
Let me put
but that was all improvised. So sorry if it wasn't that great.
No, that was awesome. I don't know. I like when you say, improvisation is not that great. It's really awesome. I know the feeling when we are into it, then we see everything, but for the people perceiving it, it's totally different experience. It was really good. Let me see. People were chatting while you were performing. So, Schmuster, très bon. Benjamin, ISO, yes, this was a live performance. That's why I'm always stressing when there is a live performance. I guess Austin stress, and I'm stressing also with all the technology and the streaming. Dalan Science and Nice, Alpha Star zoning out. DB Paran says you still have to master the live looping through Morphagene. Since some music was here, Need for Stone was here.
Halfway through the performance that on the Morphagene, there's a setting where you can control whether the feedback happens internally or not. And usually I have it off, and I forgot that I have it on right now. So there was a part where I was going to record another loop, and I realized, on top of the original part, and I realized that something was wrong. I was like, oh.
So I've got, everybody's clapping.
Ended up working out, though.
I see Benjamin Iso. Who did I see also? I saw Scott Murray was here. Oh, he's here. Alex Barnett. Alex Barnett, this is the first piece at Resident on Tuesday. That was really awesome. Trovarsi is here. Ambalek. Next Expanse. Franck Semi. Did I say Dylan Sang? I think there was a couple of questions. I think the one is which of the module you prefer for live looping? Sample live looping. Or maybe which one are you go to?
I have a couple that are my go-tos. I'd say the easiest that I use is the Strymon Magneto, and it's a 2-button or 1-button operation, and it's easy to do sound-on-sound stuff, and you can get these loops that you could either have the loop locked, or you can get these loops that decay as if it was recorded onto a tape, and every pass-through kind of decays slowly. If I really want precision looping, I use the ER301. It has a couple of different types of loopers built in, but one of them is basically similar to a guitar pedal looper. So if I really want to get a precision loop, I'll use that. Besides that, I use clouds for looping as well. In the looping delay mode, I guess I use it more as a delay, but I consider it looping in some way, just because I have the feedback up and I'm just adding sounds to the feedback buffer. And then obviously Morphagene and the Instro R-bar I use for live looping as well, but that's more for kind of messing sounds up, as opposed to trying to get a straight loop.
Yeah.
I like looping.
I still have to master the Morphagene for live looping. I'm more using it as a player, a tape player. I record a sample and then I play it and move it. But I still have to figure it out the live looping part.
Yeah. What I really like is that you can record, when you're recording on the fly, you can record into a new splice. Which is something I haven't seen on any other looper, which basically means you're adding on to the original sample. It's one audio file, essentially. It's just spliced up, but you could add a whole new splice to the sample. So, I don't know. I like that approach on the Morphagene.
That sounds cool. So Forrestine was saying that, you save, I don't know, he, she, you save them for anxiety attack listening to your music.
That's nice to hear. Ambient music helps me with my anxiety, so I can relate. It's funny because it gives me anxiety to play sometimes. I'm not great on camera, but so after this, I'm gonna go listen to some music and
relax. I have to decompress after this show too, because you got so many things to look at it. So yes, you need a quiet down period just after. So I don't know. We did the nerdy part a little bit. So what about the inspiration and the artistic part? So I don't know. What brings you into
for the thing I just did, or
on the thing you did where it's coming from, and I don't know what's your inspiration.
Well, I knew that I was just going to improvise something, so usually I feel comfortable with the summit, the Novation Summit, improvising on that, just because I have a lot of patches on it that I made. So I was hired by Novation last year to make some of the factory patches. So I feel like, okay, at least I have a bass sound that'll sound okay. As long as I just don't hit a wrong note, it'll be fine. So yeah, I was just using the modular as like a giant looper, essentially, just feeding the looper with the summit, changing patches on the fly. And as far as what inspired me, I guess, I'm just trying to, maybe there's a little bit of frustration there, just like not being able to go outside because this air quality is so bad right now. And my neck hurts because I slept on it wrong last night. So I guess I felt like it was a little bit more of an angry patch than I usually do, especially near the end with that bass sound. So yeah, that was kind of the inspiration. It was just like, okay, I'm just going to play what I feel in the moment, not really think about too much.
Yeah, that's quite cool. Yeah, I like also the, when the best part came in,
I was like, okay, I'm going to bring it. I knew that patch has like a lot of distortion on it. I was like, okay, I'm bringing it in. I think the first part of the set, I was like trying to calm myself down by playing these lighter parts, and then that last bass part was just like, okay, here's the flood.
Just shaking a little bit. So if you have got questions for Austin, please ask them in the chat, and I will release them. Don't forget the likes and subscribe and follow. See Forestine and Need for Some talking about ambient music, relaxing people. DB Poland is asking, are you going to release some peak patch?
So I think eventually the peak and summit will be compatible with each other, the patches. As of now, I think the summit patches can't be loaded on the peak, but peak patches can be loaded on the summit. So I'd say, eventually those patches that I made will be available on peak at some point.
Okay, so
since I don't have the peak anymore, I can't make any patches on it. So we'll just have to wait until it's available.
All right, so up to Novation, unless somebody donates you a peak, and then you can make some patch on it. Oh yeah, Alex Bernard is wondering if sellers have noticed a trend on distortion models since COVID.
Fun trick is one of my favorite distortions in eurorack is actually on clouds, Mutable Instruments clouds. Just in that looping delay mode, if you crank the gain knob, I think the distortion sounds quite nice. And in that mode, the texture knob becomes a filter, so you can kind of filter out the high end a little bit. It just sounds really awesome as a distortion, in my opinion. I've used that a lot on my records and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. And Ambalek is asking, where did you get the idea for wandering and the slow style of bass line that you often use on tracks?
I see the chat. He's asking if it's an influence from post rock, which is yes, it is. Yeah, I pretty much grew up listening to post rock alongside ambient, so yeah, I just love those like heavy bass lines from like that Mogwai uses and like Godspeed. And having seen them live, like the impact that a bass can have to a sound. Yeah, I really like the idea behind that.
Yeah. As we're talking about post-rock, I think Danny earlier was asking to tell about I guess you were playing at Slim's and the Chapel and some other clubs in San Francisco.
Yeah.
When you were a guitarist?
Sorry?
When you were a guitarist, I suppose?
No, as R. Benny.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I've been lucky to play some pretty incredible venues. Slim's, unfortunately, is closed now, which is really sad. I've seen so many amazing shows there, so getting to play there was an honor. But yeah, now that it's gone, it's really heartbreaking. Especially, our venues are facing closure just because of lack of being able to play shows and things like that. Mm-hmm. A couple of years ago, I got to open for the band Wire. If you're familiar with Wire?
No. Okay.
They're a UK post-punk band. They've been around for a very long time. And yeah, they asked me to open some West Coast dates for them. So I played with them in Phoenix, San Diego, and obviously, yeah, San Francisco and Slim's. And yeah, that was a very fun experience getting to play these, venues that have crazy sound systems, and it's like a proper show, and it's a little nerve-wracking when you're opening up for this crazy, this band that has such a long legacy and huge discography and tons of fans. I was super nervous, and especially people are going to a rock show expecting rock music. So that was one of the first instances where I was like, okay, I'm really going to bring the bass and distortion here, because I'm opening up for this rock band, and I think maybe rock people might appreciate a little bit more noise. And yeah, it worked out very well. I think, the reception was pretty nice at those shows.
Yeah. Oh, I think I missed it. The Great American Musical in 2016.
Yeah, I think that was 2017, actually. Because it would have been after I had released the album in 2016, and that was late 2016. Yeah, I got to open for Bing and Ruth at the Great American Music Hall. I brought along Danny as my roadie. And yeah, that was pretty awesome. It was Great American Music Hall is another venue that I grew up going to, seeing so many shows there. So getting to play there was I've never thought I would ever play there. So it was a really cool show, though. It was very intimate because Bing and Ruth, they play very quiet music. So it was a seated show at Great American, and I don't know, it was very fun to get to play that venue. And I think they're still around. They didn't close like Slim's did. So, hopefully when we're able to go to shows again, I can't wait to go see a show there.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that, I don't know, all these venues are still there, so luckily hopefully they will restart, but with new management, somebody will... the current name may be gone, but then the venue is still there, so when it's restarted, hopefully, there will be another venue.
I think we're starting to see, some places open up in other countries for social distance concerts. And, I think that's what we'll see for a while.
Yeah, it will take a bit of time.
Probably no mosh pits for a while.
Yes.
Actually, this reminds me that the last show that I saw before before the shelter in place was actually at Slim's in March, like 2 days before the shelter in place was announced. And now in hindsight, I'm like, I should not have gone to that show because it was very packed. It was a sold out show. And, you know, it was a metal show too. So it was like everyone was crowded together and kind of moving, not moshing, but, you know, like people are very crowded at the front of a concert at a metal show.
Yeah.
So at least I got to go to one last show at Slimes.
I can't remember what was my last show I went to. I don't know. Maybe that was the one with Richard Devine and Alexandro Cortini at the Public Works.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard about that show. I didn't go.
Yeah, no. The show was okay. I'm not sure it was the right venue.
Where was it at?
It was at Public Works.
Oh, okay, Public Works.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
I'm trying to think if I've played Public Works or not.
Richard Devine is more genetic. Alessandro is, ambient a bit, and playing in a venue where you've got a bar not too far from the stage is always challenging.
Yeah.
But that was cool.
Alessandro, I've seen Nine Inch Nails quite a bit, so.
Oh yeah, I think we were together at this show. That was quite a nice one. I'm reaching past the top of the hours, so it's time a little bit to wind in that. I'm checking. Well, you're seeing the chat, so you can answer the question also if I'm missing something. I see. Balek was here. Keshib also was here. Yes, sorry.
Mr. Bungle shout out.
Yeah. So before we wrap down, I don't know, you've got some project, you've got something you would like to speak before we finish this show, or anything that you would like to talk about?
Yeah. If I'm gonna talk, I had some releases come out this year. I could talk about those. The main thing that came out a couple months ago was a reissue of my first 4 albums, actually. And they're reissued on vinyl as a box set through the label Doe, who's based in Belgium. So, yeah, that was pretty fun to get those albums out on vinyl. They're all originally released on tape. The box set is all sold out everywhere, unfortunately, but we did individual runs for the albums as well. And those are available pretty much everywhere. So
collector
less copies of those.
Collector item, though, to be found.
Yeah, and then I put out an EP with the label Past Inside the Present pretty recently. 12-inch EP. That's available at their Bandcamp, or I think I have a few copies on my Bandcamp as well. So check that out. I have some other, I think 1 or 2 other releases coming out this year. One should be out pretty soon. I can't really talk about it yet, but stay tuned, I guess. It should be cool. And then I put out an album called Natural Fiction in April. So it was right at the beginning of quarantine. I kind of finished off the album at the beginning of quarantine. And, that's available. It's there you go. It's on the page.
Yes, indeed.
Sorry, I hate talking on camera.
That's okay.
Check out those. And Bandcamp Day. I love that Bandcamp's doing those Bandcamp days. I'm sure you've enjoyed that as well.
Yeah. Well, I like Bandcamp is nice, and I try to build my community there. For me, Spotify, Apple Music, and all the other is a kind of way to get the word out. But once it's there, I'm trying to drive people towards my mailing list and Bandcamp.
Yeah.
And
I want people to listen to my music on TikTok.
Oh yeah, TikTok. I posted something today on TikTok about the show today. I haven't checked if anybody saw it. I don't know. I just joined it to log the name mainly. But yeah, no, I like Bandcamp, and no, I'm starting to. I don't know. In the morning for my breakfast, I switch on Spotify. I listen to the NPR news, and then after I go on Bandcamp and then pick a random album in my collection, and then just play it until I've got my first meeting of the day. So I'm starting to gravitate more towards Bandcamp. It's quite nice. Yeah.
I've realized it's difficult because I think most people listen to Spotify and Apple Music. Oh, excuse me. Like as their, that's the main way most people listen to music.
Yeah.
So it's tough to be like, oh, I'm just going to pull my music off of that, because you do reach a lot of people through streaming, and in some cases that's the only way they can listen to music.
Well, Spotify is a convenience because it's on my phone. I have it anytime. I can just dial in when I want. Bandcamp is there also, but
I mean, in the perfect world, Spotify would pay more for a stream, I think.
Yeah.
In fact, they pay so little for, even if you hit, a million streams, you barely make any money. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's the nature of it.
Bandcamp is incredible. Just an incredible resource for aspiring artists and every artist really.
I kind of find it, that the music is free, even on Bandcamp, and people that are here and buying stuff on Bandcamp is more to support the artist than to pay for the goods. So I'm going to buy an album to support you rather than because I want to listen to your music. Or want to listen to that album. I want you to continue to release some awesome music, so I'm going to buy your albums. Rather than I need to have that music with me, because you can find it anywhere.
Get higher quality audio as well.
Yeah.
Because streaming is always going to have some type of compression.
Yeah.
Unless you're using Neil Young's thing, that thing that didn't he come out with a streaming service that was high quality? Neil Young.
I don't know. Well, Tidal
whatever it's called.
Tidal is doing some new stuff. I think they're releasing surround sound music now. But I have no idea how to, because I've got one surround sound album and I'm making another one, but I don't know how to release it except pressing a DVD.
Is it 5.1 or like binaural or?
No, it's 5.1.
5.1.
Well, my setup is quadraphonic, so I record quad, then I convert it into 5.1 because that's the format everybody can play. But besides putting it on the DVD or Blu-ray, I don't know how to release it on streaming. So buy the physical support.
What about a binaural version of it?
Yeah, I did that for Bandcamp. I did a binaural version, but I don't know. I don't hear it, the binaural. It's kind of there, but it's not really there.
It's kind of, that makes sense.
All right. I've got Keship there. So any other things you would like to talk about? Or you said that you've got a release coming soon, so please watch Beny Bandcamp, click on the follow link, so you get the announce as soon as it is released. I guess that's it. Anything else?
Just everyone stay safe. It's crazy times right now, and especially out here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Just stay safe and check in on your loved ones.
Oh, I've got a last-minute question from Scott Murray. Any advice for getting your music exposed to more people? Did it happen naturally, or did you have any strategies?
That's a good question. I think for me, it was kind of just a natural thing. Natural and just luck. When I first started, I would try to post my stuff around like places that was kind of relevant to what I was working on. So like that first video I did featuring the Korg synth, I would post it at the Korg forum, and then I'd post it on Reddit, and once I got into modular, posting it at the modular forums. Yeah, I would just post it as many places as I could and see if people were into it or not, and it just kind of slowly evolved over time.
Yeah,
a lot of luck too. Just getting. It helps if a larger publication reposts your stuff. Synthtopia will often pick up just anyone's video. So if you have stuff out there, the best way is just to get your stuff out there, I think.
I've got a little bit this theory, from all the open mic I've participated or listened to, everyone has got very good music. But I think your music is in the top percentage, which there's a fine limit where people feel compelled to talk about it. So there's very good music and I'm enjoying it, but then there's like the you're quite talented that if I listen to it, I will feel I need to share it with other people, and you got the talent, and I'm trying to also to reach there, but it's work. You need to work till you start to understand. Okay, I'm this level.
There's so many social media, I think, ties into that too. The other thing is like things like Instagram used to be a lot easier to reach an audience because they didn't really have an algorithm in place for a while. It was just everything's in chronological order. So, your posts wouldn't get throttled or whatever based on an algorithm. So I met a lot of people through that.
Social network works in the beginning because they just want to have an audience for themselves, so they will promote everything that you do, and then once they have got their audience, then they want to start to if you want to reach to people, give us some money, and then you have to kind of pay to play.
Yeah, pay to play.
That's a bit the story. All right, I think we talk a little bit about the music industry. All right, time to wrap up. I'm going to do the news and go back over the news and then give you back for the last word. So Pitchy Mango, this is my site, pitchymango.org. Please check it. Also, you will get all the links to YouTube, Instagram, and the playlist of all the past shows on YouTube. Thanking all my supporters on Bandcamp, so you can join my Bandcamp community. $20 a year, that's helped me to do this show, the music, get the restream servers and things like that. We've got Peak coming up this Wednesday at 7 p.m. and it's with Wabi Sabi, DB Poland, who's here on the chat, and VIR. So it's performance and interview, so that not to be missed. We've got Resident Electronic Music monthly open mic. The form is up, so you can sign up for the show, and it will be on Tuesday, October 13 at 8 p.m. So don't miss that. I should paste some link somewhere. Here we go. Also, I wanted to say I've got a very nice link. Where did I put it? Here we go. If you click on this link, get it in your calendar. Sorry, I'm typing and I'm talking. So I've got this link that will create an invite for all the shows, so you know that when I'm publishing, I'm trying to leverage a little bit from Facebook and other platform. It's also I post the show on the Be Improviser. We've got Resonant Frequency Live. I don't know when is our next show, but usually it's on the first Sunday of the month. I've got Sonic Islands, which is organized by Fez, which will be Sunday, 19th of September. Malaki, who is on here on the chat, has released a new album through the labeled Error Grid. Please listen to it, it's quite nice. And we've got Jan Boddy, who released the 4th edition of Tone Science module. And please check all the past edition, and number 2 is Erbeny is there, and a couple of there's plenty of friends there in this Tone Science module. And finally, I'm part of the performance for a show at the DNA Launch virtual show with Megatronic Great Highway Container. It's on the 24th, so it should be Thursday, not this Thursday, the one after. All right, I think I've done everything. That was, let me put back your Bandcamp with Natural Fiction. That was really awesome to have you today, Austin. Very nice and really awesome performance. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for thanking me, as I say. That was a nice discussion. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Don't forget, before you leave, click like, follow, and the link for this YouTube video. So it's on Facebook and Periscope, but the link for the YouTube video is valid. So, you can come back and rewatch it and watch all the previous show. Especially if you want to link it with Distortion Corporation show. So see the both side of we talk about binary society a bit. Thank you, Austin. Have a nice weekend and stay safe, and I guess indoors for a couple of days.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Bye bye. Thank you, everyone.